Welcome back to the Hubbard's Handmade Shop. I am Ryan Hubbard. Things look a little different. We had a very difficult 2020, 2021, and I haven't really posted a video in over 6 months. I just wanted to do like something different. I'm gonna do a year-end review and show you the new shop a little bit. We moved and I'm obviously in the process of setting up the new shop and things are everywhere and I can't find stuff. So many videos to come, just nothing quite yet. So I decided to make just a 2021 review video of my favorite YouTube woodworkers and creators. Leave a comment down below with one of your favorite makers or creators on YouTube so that we can all find more new people to follow. So this first one is a video by Bob Claggett and crew over at I Like to Make Stuff, and the video is Kitchen Cabinets, Cheaper to Build or Buy. This is a great video about making your own cabinets and deciding whether or not you want to make them all from scratch or buy right off the shelf, or a combination of the two, where you can buy something that you are going to customize for your own needs. He goes into the different costs, and it's a great video, especially if you're deciding to work on cabinets yourself. This second one is the ever creative Jimmy DiResta making something out of what most people would consider junk. In this one, he makes a barbecue smoker, and just some of the things that he comes up with absolutely amaze me. I would never be able to put together like what this part does and how it all comes together, which he is, of course, amazing at in his videos. The next one is David Picciuto over at Make Something. This is one of my favorite videos because he taught how to freehand these LED neon signs. It's not real neon, but it looks like it when he's done. And you can either make it by hand with a router or use a CNC machine to batch these out. I thought it resulted in a really cool product that you could make for yourself or that you could batch out a bunch to sell if that's the kind of thing you're into. If you don't watch Evan and Katelyn already, it's just a really great like feel-good channel of this married couple and the things that they make for fun. They used to sell stuff. I think that they still sell some things. But this one is a massive resin countertop they made to look like waves, like an ocean coming in. And then one of the fun things that they do in this one is they wear the heart rate monitors, so you can see, you know, at different stressful times when their heart rate goes up. It makes it kind of an interactive and interesting video to watch, just a different take. So then we have Paul Jackman with his 3D plywood hexagon accent wall. This one he did batch out on a CNC machine, but he also talks about at the end of the video, a different video where you can make these hexagons on the table saw. I thought that it ended up really cool. Paul Jackman always does different interesting how-to things to make you think, how did he do that? And then there are also like Easter eggs and fun tips in the video that make it worth watching. It's really cool, really fun channel to watch. Next we have Matthias Wandel, and a lot of his year was devoted to making a 26-inch bandsaw. He has made other bandsaws in the past, and this is the biggest one that he's made so far. He used just wood and a lot of wood glue and some, of course, metal parts and a motor and stuff. But just the unconventional ways that he uses his tools to get things done, it really helps me to learn that things don't always have to be traditional in the way that things are thought of as the way that you do woodworking. And at the same time, he's so socially awkward that it makes it just kind of funny to watch and think about him having millions of viewers. This next one is Mike Montgomery over at Modem Builds. This video is one of his that sort of went viral this year with millions of views. It's DIY platform bed made only of 2x4s. It's a very approachable project, as most of his videos are, and the way that he explains things, it makes it really easy to follow, and he ends up with beautiful results. And his videos are also just super fun to watch. Next is Ben Ueda over at HomeMadeModern. This video also had millions of views. It's how I made a wood hot tub out of 2x6s. So he does use 2x6s and a whole bunch of sealant, and very interesting how he was able to make that work. He's a different sort of creator with a modern feel. So go over and check that out and see how he ends up with this wooden box that can actually hold tons of water and a separate heating unit, water heater, that he adds, of course, to make it work. Next up is John Heisz. Here is another creator that just does things a little bit differently. He's been in the woodworking and construction industry for years and years, but this was an interesting video called How to Make End Grain Backsplash, where he takes spalted maple and cuts these really tiny end grain pieces, and it just seemed like a very tedious video where he had to take just tons and tons of parts and put them all together. And it came out beautiful in my opinion. Go and check that out. Next up is Frank Makes. One of his videos that went viral this year was a short. It was just a 60-second video where he made a Lego gear model on his CNC machine. Really cool, really fun video to watch. And if you're not familiar with Frank, go and check it out and watch some of his longer length videos, as you might find them interesting. The next one up is Blacktail Studio. Cam is also a local Oregon woodworker and one of the few YouTubers that I've actually met in person. Really great guy. He talks very frankly in his videos about the costs of his projects and what he sells them for. This one is titled A $15,000 Kitchen Island. It's a great video about how he uses traditional woodworking. He even sends this one off to a CNC machine to get the exact dimensions cut out. Watch the rest of his videos if you need some information about running your own woodworking business or getting started with epoxy tables. He has tons of great classes and explanation videos about that. Next up is another resin maker, Peter Brown, and his YouTube channel is Shop Time. This one was called Can You Make Resin Tools, where he tried to make molds of different tools and make them out of resin and then actually tried to use them. His videos are always kind of crazy ideas and I love how they comes out, and he's just very easy to listen to. Go and check his videos out if you're not familiar with Peter Brown over at Shop Time. Andrew Klein is another one of those geniuses that just comes up with really creative stuff that I go, how do you know how to do that? That is amazing. Must be some kind of genius engineer. This video is a screw with no visible slot. And it just looks like a really cool flat top disc that has a special kind of hidden fastener inside of it. He comes up with great and amazing things. Check out the other videos that he does with his geared vise that he makes for woodworkers to buy, or the work that he does with Mag Switch. He has a couple of things that he has invented himself working for them. This next one is another resin creator, Ben's Works. Trying to put different things in resin and then he turns them on the lathe or makes different projects out of them. They all come out really interesting and beautiful, and his videos are also pretty easy to watch and to listen to in a relaxing kind of creative way. Next we have Glenn over at DIY Creators. This video was called How I Upgraded My Garage Floor, Huge Difference. He used a kind of PVC tile that locks together and goes into different explanations of how he did that and the difference that it made in his shop. Then we have John Malecki. He and his crew usually take on these adrenaline-filled videos of making different things, and this one was no different, called I Made a Guitar from Bullets and Epoxy. Goes through different ways that they did it wrong to begin with and then how they did it right, and ends up with a really great result. His videos are entertaining and educational at the same time. Next up we have Jay Bates. He is a staple of YouTube that I've been watching for years and years now. This video might not be for everybody, but I thought it was very interesting, called DIY Elevator, where he took a space in his new shop and instead of having stairs that lead up to the loft, he turned it into an elevator, and it can hold something like 1,000 pounds going up and down where he puts things up in storage. Next up is Laura Kampf. Her videos are another one of those of a very creative manner. She, I think, came from a videography background and knows a lot of different ways to make things look interesting. This video is called 40-Year-Old Camper Renovation Bad Idea. And she just, watch for the way that she makes her videos look interesting, with like establishing a wide shot of what she's doing and then a close-up shot and then a medium shot and a close-up shot. It really takes you into the project, and you can learn a lot from both what she's doing and the way that she films it. Then we have Mark over at The Wood Whisperer. Mark is another one of those who's been around since the beginning of making things on YouTube. This video is called Unique Skyline Headboard Daybed, and it's a really beautiful project, I thought, about how to make a bed and the different ways that that you can make this headboard look interesting. You can do it by hand, you can do it on a CNC machine, and then the way that he finishes it looks really cool as well. Here we have Matthew Cremona. He's kind of famous for having built his own gigantic sawmill, and this video is called Salvaging the Biggest Cherry Tree in Iowa, Urban Logging. He took a drone along to give you just an idea of how gigantic this tree is. Made it very interesting video to watch. He has a different perspective on where our wood comes from, and I watched it and I really appreciate the materials that we have, where they come from, and the way that we use them. Next up is Simone Giertz. She's also kind of a different creator with a great humor and skill to her videography. This video is titled A Mechanical Table with a Hidden Puzzle Surface. She goes through the different methods that she thought about for creating this table, and how she finally executed it and turned out with a successful result. Very beautiful, very interesting and functional table. And I think that video also has a lot of potential for leading into creative ideas and how to do things differently. Steve Ramsey, one of those woodworkers that has been around for the longest time on YouTube. This video is called The Simplest Table Saw Crosscut Sled on YouTube, and he has a series going on called Essential Woodworking Projects. He has definitely taught me my essentials over the years watching his channel. This is an excellent tutorial for making a simple table saw sled to get you started on safely cross-cutting pieces on the table saw. Next up is April Wilkerson with her CNC shop tour. April is one of those that started out small and made great and interesting videos, hundreds of videos on YouTube, and now she has a big-time production CNC business that she runs in addition to her YouTube channel. I thought this was very interesting because she talks about her 4 industrial machines run by 6 employees. This is an absolute must-watch if you're thinking about a CNC for business use. She keeps growing things bigger, better, and faster. And then finally, my video list wouldn't be complete without talking about Kyle Toth. This video is called Segmented Twin Vase. Kyle didn't put out a lot of videos this year, but I always find his videos very interesting, especially the meticulous way that he makes things. It always leaves me impressed and wanting to be better. And this just turns out to be one beautiful turn vase. Check out the rest of his projects, especially his past videos about making things on the lathe and the table saw. Excellent videos and a great maker to watch. Thank you so much for checking out my review video. I hope that you found a new maker or you were rewarded by watching a video that I listed here. Definitely like and subscribe, and then leave a comment about creators that you watch that I haven't mentioned or somebody that you think needs to be highlighted. And I will get back to making videos this year, hopefully do some interesting things about setting up my new shop and working on projects in the new house. Thank you so much for coming. See you next time.